Okay, please let us come back to the next. We have already started talking on Tintern Abbey and its background. You have seen the image is another one. This is a word, Abbey. This is called a word, Abbey, means the church. Okay. So what is it? No poem of mine was. This is the few words is taken from the biography of Wordsworth. It is mentioned already. No poem of mine was composed under circumstances more pleasant for me to remember than this. He himself claims the power of the poem. He says that most of the time, most of the people, will remember it mostly. Then what? When it can be claimed, when a man can claim. For example, Kazi Nazrul Islam, he says that one day, the reader, the people may have forgotten my poems, but they cannot forget my songs. Why he has mentioned it? Because he knows that his songs are more powerful than his poems. Similarly, another writer's name I want to mention, that is Shahadat Hussain Mandu. He is actually a Pakistani writer, Urdu short story writer. He says that people may have forgotten my name, Shahadat Hussain, but they cannot forget Mandu. Because what I have written, the world readers must read it again and again. As a result, we have seen that more than 59 countries people translated his books, his writings. How powerful the writing is. Similarly here, Wordsworth declares or claim of what? He has written a number of poems, but people cannot what? Forget his poem. Which one? The Tintern Abbey. I began it upon leaving Tintern after crossing the Wey. Wey here, Wey means of what? Wey is a river. It's a name of the river. Okay. Crossing river, and concluded it just as I was entering Bristol in the evening after a ramble of 4 or 5 days with my sister. Who is his sister? I have already mentioned her name. Dorothy Wordsworth. Not a line of it was altered, and not any part of it written down till I reached Bristol. So what does it mean that until reaching Bristol, nothing has been changed, nothing has been added there, okay? It was published almost immediately after in the little volume of which so much has been said in these notes. Where he has given the notes? In the lyrical ballad which was published in 1798. And we have already mentioned that 1798 is a remarkable landmark as starting period of what? Romantic literature, romantic age, okay? About Tintern Abbey, the complete title already we have mentioned. It was published as a last poem of the lyrical ballads. Lyrical ballads is a collection of the books where Wordsworth and S.T. Coleridge's poems gathered together, okay? Then at the age of 23, poet visited the Abbey alone. At the age he first visited, in 1798 he revisited with his sister Dorothy, referred as a friend throughout. So he has a close friend. Who is he or she? She is Dorothy Wordsworth, and revisit. So at the age, first time he visited when he was 23, and second time when he visited, in that time he was 28 with his sister. He became the mature. So enough mature to understand the situation of the scenery of that area. Second one, poem is a recollection of poet's visits of 1793, which he visited alone. Again, you have seen that the poem has 3 portions. The poem has 3 portions. First 22 lines describes the nature of the hills or his visiting areas. Okay. Next 100 lines where he mentions of what? Description of the nature. And finally, he addresses his own sister Dorothy Wordsworth, and where in the last part he instructs his sister what he should do whenever he is in problem and how she could get rid of whenever she is in trouble. Okay, so this is the 3 parts. And the very first visit and the second visit, he compared the change of what he has seen, that the nature is almost the same, but the change comes where? In his own mind, no other, nowhere else. Finally, the abbey is not what described in the poem. River way is described passionately. The abbey is not described. I mean, so what? This is not described. Described of what? The river instead of the church. What does it mean that? Church is a symbol. It's a stagnant. That's why it couldn't attract him. Rather, the motion, the current of the river, the change of the river attracts him very much. And he has found the existence of God there. As a result, he described mostly or passionately what? The description of the river way, rather what? Rather the abbey. Then one of the most famous poems of William Wordsworth, obviously Tintern Abbey, written during the Romantic period, obviously, because Romantic period started after the publication of this poem also in lyrical ballad. The poem refers to place called Tintern Abbey in Wales, Great Britain, in Wales. Okay, we know that in Great Britain there are 4 countries actually: England, Wales, Ireland, and Scotland. Okay. And finally, Wordsworth visited the place 5 years ago from the composition of the poem we have already mentioned. Then, this is another side of that abbey actually. It is a complex poem addressing a lot of themes the same time: memory, mortality, faith, nature, friendship, and familial love. So, what are the main theme of the poem? Memory, mortality, faith, nature, friendship, and familial love. Then what? Employs a more intellectual and philosophical relationship with nature. We have already mentioned that. Romantic poets tried to make a relationship or tried to show the relationship between human being and nature. Similarly, in the poem he also tried to intellectually and philosophically try to show the relationship. What? Relationship with nature. Okay. Then the structure of the poem is complex. There is no rhyme, no regular division of the stanza. Somewhere you will see that a stanza consists of 22 lines. Somewhere a stanza consists of 50 lines. Somewhere it's only a single or 2 lines. Okay. So there is no regular stanza, there is no regular rhyme scheme, there is no regular meter as well. That's why we are telling that it's a complex one in that sense. Written on blank verse or iambic pentameter. Then poetic devices repetition of sounds and words. Obviously, a number of ornaments, a number of poetic devices like simile, metaphor, oxymoron, hyperbole, alliteration, assonance, consonance. These are things frequently he has used. For what reason? To make it rhythmic, to attract the reader as well. Okay. Then past versus present. Remember, the point highlights 3 ages: past, present, and future. Past, present, and future. At the very first time we have seen that he has mentioned, I have for 5 years past. What does it mean? It indicates the past. Now present. At the last step we will see that he is giving some instruction to his sister Dorothy Wordsworth what she should do when no one will try to help her in her problem. Okay, it means of what? The 3 ages, 3 times he has mentioned in the poem. Very first we will try to see the past versus present. Very first 4 lines you have seen that. 5 years have passed, 5 summers, with the length of 5 long winters, and again a year. These waters rolling from their mountain springs with a soft inland murmur. What does it mean that? comparison of mature state with the pure state of childhood mind, which I have mentioned. How? 5 years ago, whenever he was only 23 years old, in that time he was not enough mature. He was not so much what? Critical as well. He was not so much experienced. So it's a contradiction. The lines what shows the differences between the mature level and the immature level, or you can say that what innocent level as well as the experienced level. Okay, and of what escaping in the childhood memory from the complication of present life. Obviously it's a differences. When you recall your memory or you recall your childhood, what's happened? You see that in that time there is no what complexity at all. Now each and every one, as we are the matured, as we are the adult one, we have lot of complex ideas. We cannot share it to the others. But in your childhood, whatever you can think, you can easily share it with the other people, and there is no complexity. Whatever you do, that was very simply you try to do it for what reason? For the entertainment, for the enjoyment. But now it is what? You are not trying to do everything for your enjoyment. Try to, for what? To dominate also the other as well. Okay? To show your power. Have you understood these 4 lines? This is not actually, we haven't started the poem. Later on we will start. We are talking about the background or the themes of the poem. Memory to Wordsworth. Memory to Wordsworth. If you know the themes, if you know the background, I think the poems will be very easier, okay, to understand. To establish a connection with the nature. Already we have mentioned. It's one of the major themes is that what? To show the connection or to show the relationship between the man and nature. Then of what? Pre-embraced memory of the past in beauteous forms that offer tranquil restoration. Memory of past is very much important. It shapes mind. What shapes mind? Your memory, your past memory. Then of what? It provides, so like it cared for his sister Dorothy and saw his past in tried to reconnect the past experience and memory with the present time. We have already discussed it. Then main aspect. What is the main aspect? Poet draws on rustic life. We have already shown some images. Most of the picture, most of the images, they are taken from where? From the isolated area, secluded area. This is the far away from the locality, okay? Then of what? Theme of lasting effect of natural surrounding. Theme of loneliness and isolation from the world and its matters. Role of memory and power of recollection. If you have the vast stories, memories, it will once help you to to overcome all the obstacles as well. So that's why he has tried to show the importance of having the memory. In which way? At the very first line he has mentioned the 5 years past and he has compared the past and present. Okay? Through this we can see of what? The importance of having strong memory. Then of what? Nature as sources of peace and happiness. So according to Wordsworth, what is the source of our peace and happiness? Nature. Is there any doubt? In our society nowadays, people are getting, you will see that the man, the family who lives in a bungalow, which is surrounded number of trees and flowers and birds and the other things else, their mind is very soft. They have the humankind attitude, nature. But the people of the city, they are so much what? Self-centered, cruel. Why? Because they are detached from the nature. And they cannot live in peace as well because of their internal tormentation. But the villagers, whether though they cannot enjoy all the modern facilities, but they are so much happy rather than us. Why? Because of the impact of the nature. Okay, it is shown by William Wordsworth in the poem. Okay, any question from the background? I have already discussed the background. Anyone? Any question? If you have any question, you can ask me. If you want to share anything else to me, I am ready to allow you. Anyone, please? No one have any question?